Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for December the 11th, read by Kirsty S. from the East Midlands in the United Kingdom. AA Thoughts for the Day. Show business. The first requirement is that we be convinced that any life run on self-will can hardly be a success. On that basis, we are almost always in collision with something or somebody, even though our motives are good. Most people try to live by self-propulsion. Each person is like an actor who wants to run the whole show, is forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in his own way. If his arrangements would only stay put, if only people would do as he wished, the show would be great. Everybody, including himself, would be pleased. Life would be wonderful. Alcoholics Anonymous, pages 60-61. Thought to consider. I can't do his will, my way. Acronyms. HOPE. Help open people's eyes. Just for today. Promoter among promoters. AA history. In the doctor's opinion, Dr. Silkworth described a patient brought to him for treatment of chronic alcoholism who had only partially recovered from a gastric hemorrhage and seemed to be in a pathological state of mental deterioration. This man was Hank P. His story in the first edition of the Big Book was titled The Unbeliever, Experience, Strength and Hope, page 5. Hank worked for Standard Oil of New Jersey. He was a high-pressure kind of guy. He was called a promoter among promoters. He was a partner with Bill W. in the Honor Dealers Car Polish Company, which they started to earn some money while AA was still being developed. Hank also wrote Chapter 7 of the Big Book, Working with Others. Daily Reflections. A genuine humility. We are actually to practice a genuine humility. This is to the end that our great blessings may never spoil us, that we shall forever live in thankful contemplation of him who presides over us all. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 192. Experience has taught me that my alcoholic personality tends to be grandiose. While having seemingly good intentions, I can go off on tangents in pursuit of my causes. My ego takes over and I lose sight of my primary purpose. I may even take credit for God's handiwork in my life. Such an overstated feeling of my own importance is dangerous to my sobriety and could cause great harm to AA as a whole. My safeguard, the 12th tradition, serves to keep me humble. I realise both as an individual and as a member of the fellowship that I cannot boast of my accomplishments and that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. As Bill sees it, random quote, to deepen our insight. It is necessary that we extricate from an examination of our personal relations every bit of information about ourselves and our fundamental difficulties that we can. Since effective relations with other human beings have nearly always been the immediate cause of our woes, including our alcoholism, no field of investigation could yield more satisfying and valuable rewards than this one. Calm, thoughtful reflection upon personal relations can deepen our insight. We can go far beyond those things which were superficially wrong with us, to see those flaws which were basic flaws, which sometimes were responsible for the whole pattern of our lives. Thoroughness, we have found, will pay, and pay handsomely. 12 and 12, page 80. Big Book quote. Outsiders are sometimes shocked when we burst into merriment over a seemingly tragic experience out of the past. But why shouldn't we laugh? We are recovered and have been given the power to help others. Alcoholics Anonymous, 4th edition. The Family Afterward, page 132. 24 hours a day. AA Thought for the Day. Doctors think of the AA Fellowship as group therapy. This is a very narrow conception of the depth of the AA Fellowship. Looking at it purely as a means of acquiring and holding sobriety, it is right as far as it goes, but it doesn't go far enough. Group therapy is directed toward the help that the individual receives from it. It is essentially selfish. It is using the companionship of other alcoholics only in order to stay sober ourselves. But this is only the beginning of real AA fellowship. Do I deeply feel the true AA fellowship? Meditation for the day. Most of us have had to live through the dark part of our lives, the time of failure, the nightmare of our lives, when we were full of struggle and care, worry and remorse, when we felt deeply the tragedy of life. But with our daily surrender to a higher power comes a peace and joy that makes all things new. We can now take each day as a joyous sunrise, gift from God to use for Him and for other people. The night of the past is gone. This day is ours. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may take this day as a gift from God. I pray that I may thank God for this day and be glad in it. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Centre City, MN 55012. My name is Kirsty, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.